afternoon, everybody out there in Regular People Travel World.
Hi, guys.
This is Alan.
I'm Brooke.
And we're Regular People Travel.
Yep.
And with the days getting shorter and the weather getting colder, we're thinking about one of our favorite hot places in the world, Epcot.
Oh, yes.
And what do adults love to do in Epcot? Drink around the world. Probably,
Cheers.
A professional YouTuber would have done that.
All right, guys. So first things first, don't mind us. We're a little sleep deprived. We've had a little sick one. Things have been crazy and snotty around here.
That's why I got the Jim Morrison shades on. Yeah, we got a sick little baby. He's double ear infection. The upper respiratories.
The head, snotties, but it's okay. Things are gonna get better.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Look at those dark circles.
It's okay. Maybe put the shades back on.
What are those? What's that thing that you put underneath your eyes?
Eye cream?
No, it's like a...
Oh, my little mask things.
Yeah, those things. Maybe I need one of those.
We'll get you some later.
All right, thank God. Well, so today we want to talk to you guys about drinking around the world in Epcot. It's one of our favorite things to do. We never really remember the end of the night, but we always have a great time start to middle.
So I think you should start in France. I like starting in France. You come out, you come into France right at the Skyliner. You start off a little bit of champagne. Everything's good in France.
Wrong. So I think the only appropriate way to drink around the world is to start in Mexico. The reason being is you're at the park, you're in the regular park all day, you're riding test track, you're riding in the big ball, and the first place you hit from the regular park is Mexico. And have you ever heard of a day starting with margaritas that ended poorly?
I'll give it to you.
Okay, maybe you had.
It's starting with a margarita, you can't go wrong. I mean, you can't, so.
And then you can hammer down some food there in Mexico because the food is, that's Italy.
It's okay. It's still all delicious.
Anyway, so I think the only appropriate place to start is Mexico. So since you're wrong and I'm right, I guess we need to split the difference on...
Split hairs, okay.
Split hairs, and we'll start talking about our favorite drinks in Canada. So I am a hockey guy, and to be quite honest, I'm only a hockey guy when it's not football season. So hockey, I'll see you in January, maybe February, but until then, football guy. My favorite drink in Canada is Labatt, and praise God for hockey, praise God for Labatt.
It is good. I like the Ottawa apple. It's really good. It's Crown Royal, it's maple, it's apple infused, it's some cranberry juice. It's really good. You got to get it. I mean, we both kind of shared his Labatt and the Ottawa apple. It was perfect.
The worst part about Canada is when you smell the maple popcorn.
Oh, so
good. And you just like hammered down in Mexico going to eat dinner.
Yeah, and you're so full, but you want all the goodies.
It's miserable because it's so good. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna move in a counter. I'm trying to do the opposite because of the camera. Counterclockwise, however it is when you look at it north to south on a map. So we're gonna go to the UK, and my favorite is a black and tan. I feel like it's a fastball. It's as good as it gets, and it's hard to mess anything up that's got Guinness in it.
Yeah, I am not personally a Guinness liker. It's too dark for me. I like the snake bite. It's cider and beer mixed, so it's just light enough for somebody who likes a light beer. I've tasted the black and tan. Not bad, just not my thing.
All right, so we'll move from the UK over to France. So France has a special place in my heart because everything there is bad for you. The macaronis.
The macaroons
are outrageous, and then the crepes are outrageous. But one of my favorite things to drink there is what you see first when you get in there. It's the slushie. It's got the Grand Marnier. I think it's got vodka in it. And,
orange, rum.
Well, that's Grand Marnier is the orange.
Oh, well, it has vodka. It has orange.
But it's outrageous, and it's the first thing you see when you walk into France.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Always long lines, but worth it.
Well, it's when you're waiting on the Remy ride. It's a great place to stand and get some booze.
I like the champagne. Just kind of kept it simple in France. Just a nice little glass of champagne. Ate it with our crepes over the top of the trash can by the strollers so the babies could sleep and hang out. It was great. Nothing like crepes on top of a trash can.
Speaking of top of a trash can, I don't know if you guys noticed, this is the cup that you get at Red Lobster when you order the all-you-can-eat shrimp.
Do they even do that anymore?
I have no idea, but shout out Flores, my boy Flores. We were up at the Red Lobster in Liberty, Missouri, and I pitched a fit to Flores that I wanted the cup, and he wanted the cup, and now I have the cup, and he's still living in his hometown. So Flores, eat your heart out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so after France, we're gonna go to Morocco. The go-to in Morocco, sangria.
You gotta have the sangria.
You have to.
I feel like, do they have any other drinks? I feel like every time I've ever been there, it's sangria whole.
That's just what we always go to when we get there, so I'm sure they do, but our go-to is always the sangria.
Wild story about Morocco. The last time we were in Disney World, I'm walking into Morocco, and the gal stayed outside with the kids, and me and my buddy Rainey went inside to go get drinks for the wives, and we saw Rachel Dratch in line.
Y'all, he came out fangirling, like, he was like, oh my gosh, guess who I just saw? And I was like, who? And he was like, it was amazing. It was the best day ever. So
for those of you who don't know who Rachel Dratch is, a little backstory, I wanted to be on SNL my entire life. I went to school for theater. I went to a performing arts high school. Like that was my track until I realized it was not for me. And Rachel Dratch is one of the legends of Saturday Night Live. She was Debbie Downer. She was
in the hot tub.
Hot tub. Oh yeah,
yes.
She was Amy Klobuchar during all the Democratic debates. She is top notch. So shout out to my girl Rachel Dratch. So we'll leave there and we'll go to Japan. I am a sucker for sake, and the violet sake is out of town. It is awesome. So you can get it right there as you walk in on the left. There's a little kiosk that sells sake. It is next level.
Yeah. Is it pronounced Kirin? Mm-hmm. Kirin. I had the Kirin beer. A good go-to for me is always, a good beer everywhere. That's a good one. If you like light beers, that's definitely the one to get. Yeah.
So the next place is our favorite place, the United States of America. So in America, I'm a big Boston Lager guy. Sam Adams Boston Lager. There's nothing more American than Sam Adams Boston Lager. And it's even extra points if you're in Massachusetts.
I like the Blackberry Moonshine Sour. It's like one of the most popular things. I mean, you have to get it. It's the best. If you go to Epcot, you go to America and you don't get one, you did it wrong.
Hot take, the moonshine flavor in that is not as strong as you would expect.
Yeah.
Everybody sees moonshine, they think it's gonna take your skin off, and it really isn't. It's pretty smooth drink.
Yeah, and you're gonna get snacks everywhere you go with all these, so you're good.
Yeah, and so a great place to get snacks is in Italy, which is where we go next if we're going counterclockwise. In Italy, we drink wine.
Yes.
Drink as the Romans do, I think is the expression. And the Romans come from Italy. And so they drink wine. So we drink wine when we're in Italy in Epcot.
Yes. And when we get the snacks, you have to get a cannoli. It's my favorite. You can't go and not get a cannoli with your wine. Just do it. Trust us.
Now, speaking of places that you have to get food when you're drinking is Germany. So in a very similar way to Italy, Brooke and I tend to have the same drink order when we get to Germany. It's the Schafferhofer grapefruit. You
guys, it's my favorite. It's the pink grape. You can ask Alan. We keep that stocked at home.
We got a fridge full of it.
We have it in our fridge at home. It's literally my favorite.
It's crazy. She doesn't drink it when we're here at home. But
it tastes better in Disney World.
But when we're at Disney World, it's like a fire hose.
It's just good, you guys. It doesn't even have if you're not a beer drinker, get that one. It's light. It's refreshing. It's kind of fruity. I love it. It's my favorite.
And then while you're in Germany, make sure to get the giant pretzel.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I swear you could feed a small village with these pretzels.
It's so good.
Or one me. And I always top out those pretzels. They're incredible.
They're amazing.
They're awesome. I cannot say enough nice words about the pretzel.
Absolutely.
So then we'll move over to China. We very similar there too. We roll with the Tsingtao beer.
Yep, both of us.
And now usually, because we either start in Mexico or France, usually by the time we get to China, we don't have a whole lot of complaints about what we're drinking.
But the beer is good.
Beer is very good.
Yeah.
And then the food there right in China is outstanding.
Oh yeah, so good.
Hot take, also the best place out there to watch the fireworks displays at night. They've got a really nice set of tables out there by the water. It's got a great view. If you're wanting to stop and watch the fireworks at night, that's a great place to stop and watch.
Yeah, definitely. So after China, we're gonna go to Norway. Once again, I normally get wine. Something easy, simple. I like it. You can't go wrong with a good glass of wine.
And I'm a Viking coffee guy. Now, one of the reasons why I like to start in Mexico is because when you end in Norway, it's one of the furthest places away from the Skyliner to get out of the park. So typically, if you're there late at night, which you probably are, because drinking around the world takes a pretty long time, and you're probably walking much, much slower than you were when you started, you can be one of the last people out of the park.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can, and as you're leaving, if you start walking or the fireworks are still going, you can kind of start meandering that way, see the fireworks. So it is nice to kind of come behind the mass amount of people. So yeah, I'll give it to him. He does use his noggin sometimes.
Oh, it's pretty bright. And then the last place, my personal favorite in all of Epcot, Mexico. What do you get in Mexico?
Margaritas.
You have to hammer the margaritas. I think I said that up front, like when I was telling you where I start. The margaritas in Mexico, next friggin' level.
Yeah, so when we started there, we had dinner there. We had margaritas with dinner. They've got the stand out front. You can get margaritas if you don't go inside the restaurant and eat, but you can't go wrong with margarita. I mean, come on.
Now, all this being said, we're not Disney experts. We're drinking experts.
Nah.
And we're Disney people. So you add the two together, I think this is a fairly adequate list.
I think it's a good list. Next time we go to Disney, we'll do it again and see what we got next time too.
And hopefully we can make your trip to Disney anything other than regular.
Bye guys.
Bye, y'all.